When you think about fast food in America, a handful of iconic names immediately come to mind. But for millions of people, especially on the West Coast, there's one name that sparks an almost cult-like devotion: In-N-Out Burger. For decades, this burger chain has built a reputation that goes far beyond its simple menu of burgers, fries, and shakes. It's not just food, it's a cultural landmark, a symbol of California life, and for many fans, an experience that feels personal. But how did this small drive-thru in Baldwin Park, California, grow into one of the most beloved fast food chains in the country while still refusing to go national? So, today, let's dive into the story of In-N-Out Burger, right here on History of Simple Things. The story begins in 1948, when Harry and Esther Snyder opened the very first In-N-Out Burger stand in Baldwin Park, California. At the time, drive-ins were popping up across the United States, but Harry had a vision that set his little stand apart. Instead of having car hops running back and forth taking orders, Harry invented California's first true drive-thru using a two-way speaker box. Customers could order without leaving their car, and the food was freshly prepared on the spot. This was revolutionary, and it gave In-N-Out a unique edge from the very start. The philosophy was simple: quality food made fresh, served quickly, and with a friendly touch. While other chains began expanding rapidly and cutting corners to keep costs down, Harry and Esther stuck to their principle that customers deserved fresh beef, hand-cut fries, and milkshakes made from real ice cream. It might not have seemed like a winning formula in a world rushing toward mass production, but it turned out to be the secret ingredient for long-term loyalty. Unlike many fast food chains that became faceless corporations, In-N-Out has always been a family-run business. Harry and Esther were deeply involved in every decision, and their children eventually grew up in the business. Their son, Rich Snyder, took over after Harry's passing in 1976 and brought with him a sense of faith and community that shaped the brand's identity. Rich was responsible for many of the traditions people still associate with In-N-Out today. Under his leadership, the chain expanded carefully, never rushing into new markets, but making sure each store carried the same values and quality. He also introduced the Bible verses discreetly printed on the bottom of cups and wrappers, a personal touch reflecting his Christian faith. Sadly, Rich's leadership was cut short when he tragically died in a plane crash in 1993. The company then passed to his brother Guy, and later to his niece, Lindsay Snyder, who remains the current owner. Through every leadership change, one thing remained constant: the family's insistence that In-N-Out never compromise on its core values, even as the company grew. One of the most fascinating parts of the In-N-Out story is how it created a sense of exclusivity without actually excluding anyone. Take the famous secret menu. Officially, the menu is extremely simple: hamburger, cheeseburger, fries, and shakes. But word of mouth spread that you could order things like animal-style burgers, protein-style lettuce wraps, or a 4x4 stacked with 4 patties and 4 slices of cheese. These weren't listed on the menu boards, but the employees knew exactly what you were talking about. This secret menu gave In-N-Out an almost underground reputation, something fans could feel like they were in on. It made the chain feel personal, like you were part of a club. And in the age before social media, this kind of whispered tradition added to the mystique. Today, the secret menu isn't much of a secret anymore, but it still carries the same sense of fun and discovery that helped turn In-N-Out into a cultural phenomenon. Here's something that confuses a lot of people. If In-N-Out is so good, why hasn't it spread across the country like McDonald's or Burger King? The answer goes back to their commitment to freshness. In-N-Out insists on using fresh, never frozen beef, and fries that are cut in-store from whole potatoes. To guarantee that quality, the chain only builds restaurants within a certain distance from their distribution centers. That means expansion is slow and deliberate. While this might sound like a limitation, it's actually a big part of their success. Instead of risking their reputation by stretching too thin, In-N-Out has built up an aura of scarcity. People on the East Coast long for the day they can finally taste a double-double, while those who live near one feel a sense of pride and loyalty. In a way, by not being everywhere, In-N-Out has become even more special. Beyond the food, what makes In-N-Out so beloved is the culture surrounding it. The staff is famously friendly, the restaurants are clean, and the retro red and white design makes it feel timeless. Employees are also paid above-average wages for the fast food industry, which contributes to the positive energy customers notice. Eating at In-N-Out isn't just grabbing a quick bite, it feels like being part of a tradition, one that hasn't really changed since 1948. From late-night stops after concerts to road trips through California, for many people, In-N-Out is tied to memories. It's the kind of brand that lives in people's stories, not just in their stomachs. The story of In-N-Out Burger is one of staying true to principles in a world that constantly pushes for faster, cheaper, and bigger. From a tiny Baldwin Park stand to a beloved West Coast institution, the chain has thrived by focusing on what really matters: quality, consistency, and community. It's proof that sometimes doing less can actually mean more. So the next time you bite into a double-double or dip a fry into a milkshake, remember, you're not just eating fast food. You're experiencing a slice of California history, one that's been carefully preserved for more than 75 years. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.